The Cabinet Secretary in charge of Trade, Investments and Industry, that is Moses Kuria, has been and continues to be the talk of town in the world of politics and governance. So let's look at his future in this particular field and see what portends for him therein. Is he making news for the right reasons or for the opposite? That is our conversation today on your number one show on matters, politics and governance, hosted by yours truly, Richard Mwanjam. Indeed, a pleasure to have you on board. With me on this conversation is none other than renowned political analyst this side of the Sahara, Herman Manyora. Great to see you, sir.
Thank you.
Today we are talking about your friend Moses Kuria.
Yeah, very bright man.
Even to this date, he remains your closest buddy?
Very intelligent.
Intelligent, you say?
Yeah.
Well, let's look if his recent developments in the world of politics are intelligent enough, because most people actually are challenging that. And we start from his most recent tweet, which he just said, so you wait for us to vote for him, now you have forced him to a handshake to Achwe Komata over my dead body. This likely translates or is interpreted as message to those in Azimio who are trying to force Azimio leader into a handshake and with President Ruto. So let me ask, Moses Kuria has been in power as Gatundu South Member of Parliament. He has been close to power for so long. Why does he seem this time around to be so illusioned with the craving for power and just to protect that position that he has?
Power, what power does is to make you want more and more and more.
Mm-hmm. Just how
power
much
is like
enough?
money. If you get money beyond a certain level, beyond what we people ever dream of, now you keep wanting more and more and more. Even people get wondering, now this guy here, what does he want this money for? They can't understand. Mm-hmm. It is a disease. When you get money at a certain level, you now want more and more and more. So power is the same. Moses Kuria was an MP. Moses Kuria was an MP. Now he's a cabinet secretary, a very powerful secretary, very close to the president.
The powers that be.
In the hierarchy of government, is very high up there. Power gets to your head and you want more and more. And it always creates some illusion in you. The illusion of power. The power you have is actually an illusion. It's not even power. It's an illusion. Yeah.
Could that same illusion be now justifying his recent sentiments that that have been pointed to target Raila Odinga, that very soon an assassin will be needed for the job to take down Raila Odinga?
No,
is the illusion from the power, Lord?
He didn't say that. Let's be fair to Moses Kuria.
But some interpret he was...
Yeah, you say people are interpreting what he said to me now, Raila, but it is unfortunate. I said Moses Kuria is a good man. A friend of mine, not very close, of course. I reminded him in a light touch that many people who have wished Raila dead have died. I just wish Moses Kuria doesn't die. So I want to advise him to stop imagining Raila's death.
It could portend doom for himself.
Yeah, but it's on a light note. But what I'm saying that I think what is important is to know that once you have risen up to a certain level, what comes from your mouth can make or unmake a country. God has been gracious to Moses Kuria to put him among the top 100 leaders in the country. Surely, you can't ask for more. Surely. To be a cabinet secretary in a country like Kenya, you are among the top, even 100, I'm going very far, but let's just be generous. Out of 50 million, you are just among the top 100 people. That is something you should thank God for. But also know it comes with responsibility. Because from that high level where you are, what's coming from you can very easily destroy the country or make the country. What Kenyan politicians fail to know is that decisions that politicians make today will affect Kenya for many years, many generations to come. One decision. If you sit in cabinet and make a decision in cabinet, to you it may just be another tea-taking session. and a minister takes you through something and then you take tea and go away. But that decision will affect the children of your children and their children.
There's need for forethought and thoroughness there.
Yes. So, anytime you have risen up to a certain level in society, be careful of the decisions you make. Be careful of the words you utter and your deeds. Because from that high position, you affect society.
Very well, rightly put there. Then again, very recently we've seen Gatundu South residents taken to the media and they are warning Moses Kuria, the CS, to stop getting into loggerheads with Uhuru Kenyatta and actually talking ill of Uhuru Kenyatta. On Moses Kuria's side, he might look like he's defending government and trying to address the issue of Uhuru Kenyatta being looped in as among those who are sponsoring the protest. But the residents feel that you are betraying your own son. You're going against your own son, like brothers going after each other. Would you say Uhuru Kenyatta was at some time the member of parliament there, and then came Moses Kuria and all that? Do you think it's unfair for Moses Kuria to go back and target a boy from his own backyard?
Well, it's just good manners that when people are stoning your brother, you should be the last to stone him. In fact, you shouldn't.
You shouldn't?
Yeah, if people are really attacking Uhuru and Uhuru is from your place, you should be the last person to talk.
You should
and
be the
yet
guardian
Moses
of the
Kuria is the first. That's not how things work in the real world we live. But there are many worlds. Moses Kuria could be living in his own world.
That doesn't center that.
Yeah.
In the reasoning and all that. Yeah. But then again, look at it. Here is Rigathi Gachagua, and many perceive that he is trying to be the kingpin of Mount Kenya through attacking Uhuru Kenyatta. Then comes Moses Kuria, actually from Uhuru's backyard, like Gatundu South, Ishaweri and all that place. If you're looking at the kingpinship battle, then would you say that with the recent jabs Moses Kuria is throwing at Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, it's going to give him enough political mileage for him to be crowned, say, the Mount Kenya kingpin, the voice of reason therein?
You know, the danger we are in Mount Kenya is that there isn't a clearly defined successor to Uhuru Kenyatta. And therefore, every wannabe, yes, will try to claim some space, place a stake. And I'm sure even people like Imani Shunga, they can see themselves
that matter.
Succeeding Uhuru Kenyatta and Ndindi Nyoro. Yeah, there are many, you know, Kiunjuri. They still, even within Mount Kenya, within Kenya Kwanza. And therefore, I would not be surprised if people like Moses Kuria believe the throne is empty. And therefore, what they are doing is to endear themselves to the community so that at the right time, they may succeed Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta is yet to be succeeded.
Is yet to be succeeded?
Yes. And people are dancing around the throne. Those who cannot even climb on a chair are trying to climb on the backs of others to be able to reach the chair. Others are bringing stools, standing on chairs and stools to reach the chair. Others are trying to construct small ngazi, rada, to be able to reach the chair, because the chair is a little high. But everybody is dancing around the throne, the Mount Kenya kingpin. And everybody believes Uhuru has left. They could also be disappointed. Uhuru is very much around.
Very much around?
Of course.
If you go down and just trace and say compile the sentiments from Moses Kuria since the stage money, the onset of the mass protest, he has somewhat reduced Uhuru to someone who has gone with the winds in the field of politics. Would you say that he's actually trying to convince himself that Uhuru is no longer a name in Mount Kenya politics when Uhuru is still at the center of it?
Well, everybody is allowed to dream, so Moses Kuria can dream. And Uhuru is very much around.
Hasn't been used to
Uhuru is a big name in Mount Kenya. You can't wish it away.
You just cannot?
You can succeed Uhuru, but not by cheapening him. Not by imagining that you are stronger than him. You see, let me tell you this, and nobody may like it. All these politicians from Mount Kenya who think they can succeed Uhuru Kenyatta, all of them combined do not achieve the stature of Uhuru Kenyatta.
All of them combined?
All of them combined. They don't.
Money aside?
Because, you know, it is many things. I've said Uhuru is not Uhuru. I've said this so many times. People think Uhuru Kenyatta is like Uhuru Kenyatta. It's like Ndindi Nyoro. Uhuru Kenyatta is not a Shungwa. He's not Rigathi Gachagua. Uhuru Kenyatta is Uhuru Kenyatta plus. So you are just Ndindi Nyoro. You are just Moses Kuria. But Uhuru Kenyatta is Uhuru Kenyatta plus.
But
So,
he's not a spirit yet like Raila Odinga.
No, Raila is a spirit, but Uhuru Kenyatta...
Closer to being a spirit.
No, is an institution.
Ah.
Uhuru Kenyatta is an institution.
Can't be brought down in a day?
How? Uhuru Kenyatta is a Kenyatta to begin with.
You just don't flatten the mountain on him.
And you know Kenyatta was not a human being again.
Come on, bro.
Uhuru Kenyatta is networked. At the ICC, I remember his counsel, his advocate, K, the old man, says, you know the kind of man we are talking about here. This is the man whose father was the founding president of Kenya. The man whose father's bust is on Kenya's currency. The network the Kenyattas have, the resources they have, the political connections, local and international. To surmount that is not a small matter. It's just that Uhuru as a person may not have been perhaps as tough, and he said it as much. He said, watu wanasema babangu alikuwa akitoa kisu hairudi bila kitu.
Yeah, natoa inarudi.
Inarudi bikiwa hakuna haina kitu.
Simba imenyeshewa.
Hajanyeshewa, lakini he wasn't as tough as his father and other people. But he's an institution. You don't dismantle an institution just easily like that. You take time to finish an institution. Look at Raila Odinga. There are so many small boys dancing around, they want to inherit Raila. It's not a small matter. Stepping in Raila's shoes, you can't walk. All these politicians from Nyanza trying to talk about Raila, if they put their feet, all of them, in Raila's shoes, one shoe that Raila is putting on, waweke wote hiyo haitoshi ndani, they will still be dragging it. All of them.
Even those in powerful dockets?
Which one?
Interior.
Which interior? You can't be like Raila Odinga. Not now. Tomorrow, yes. And therefore, if you are in Nyanza, you are Raymond, you are Eli, all these are my
Owalo,
good.
yeah.
Owalo, whoever you are. You do not succeed Raila Odinga by undermining him, by antagonizing the Luo community. You play the game differently. I want to advise these Luo leaders, for example, to try and play the way almost close to what Robert Ouko did. Robert Ouko was with government, but he was not entirely against the people. So he was still with the people. That's why he was mourned greatly. Even Mboya was not completely with the Luos because he was antagonizing Jaramogi Oginga. But when he died, there was gloom in this country. So if you are from Mount Kenya, if you aspire to be somebody after Uhuru Kenyatta, you want to succeed Uhuru Kenyatta, do not antagonize Uhuru Kenyatta. Do not think insults will give you succession. No, you will not succeed Uhuru Kenyatta by insulting him. People read it badly. So if you have some potential, you are Rigathi Gachagua, you are Ishungwa, you are Moses Kuria, leave Uhuru alone in your schemes. Because that will be your undoing. It explains why whenever there is succession, it is the most unlikely people who succeed.
The most unlikely?
The most unlikely.
So when you drag Mama Ngina into it, it's even more danger for you.
And Mama Ngina is not a woman. She's not just an old woman. She's something else. You bring your mother and put her there and then put Mama Ngina, you see they are the same. These are different. These are people who have acquired a certain stature. You see? And you find the allegiance in the future. They will be allegiance. Myth around allegiance do not develop when they are alive or within the historical space they occupy. It comes much later.
Way later.
In another 100 years, people will be saying stories about Mama Ngina. I've already heard stories about her during the struggle for independence.
Like we do for Dedan Kimathi?
Yeah.
Just like we do for Dedan Kimathi.
Yeah.
Way later, even those who never met.
Yes. So, people like Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, Mama Ngina Kenyatta, they have achieved a certain stature in society. And people like William Ruto are moving there to achieving the same stature. So they stop being very ordinary people like us. The sooner people learn that, the better. You cannot fail Uhuru Kenyatta just the way you fail some small tree.
So Moses Kuria cannot flatten Uhuru's mountain
How?
anytime soon.
How?
Jabs and all that.
No, there'll be volcanoes coming from there. The ash will burn you. Have you seen volcanic ash coming from Goma in
DRC?
DRC. That molten lava, hot ash, it will burn Moses Kuria. The Uhuru Mountain has some active volcano.
It can take down a CS, a whole CS.
What is a CS? Mbele ya Uhuru Kenyatta.
Powerful CS.
No, they are no. This you can't compare those in the same sentence as CS and Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta is the one who has been appointing my CS. Yeah.
You don't say.
No. Let's just agree that Uhuru Kenyatta is not a man you can dismiss. You touch Northern Isle, and what do you call it? Northlands.
Northlands.
Was the war even fought in this country? The bigger war was fought outside. Is that right?
International affairs.
Ama namna gani?
Sure.
Na kondoo mbili tu, hata si kitu, jaguza kitu yake.
You touch the dog, you know the owners.
Yeah, but ati doba. Hiyo mbuzi inaitwa doba.
Doba, yeah. Hybrid.
Who did he go and even did he look like a cat? Yeah? Those are people my people say huwezi kuenda yeye mkono moja. You prepare before you face them. And you don't face Uhuru Kenyatta by insulting him.
Na usione simba amenyesheo.
No, you strategize. You first of all fight your own wars within. Wewe kama ni Moses Kuria unapima Gachagua, unampiga teke. Unapiga Ndini Nyoro, unaona umebaki peke yako. At some point you may even use Uhuru Kenyatta. Mwambie sisi ni watu wa Shaweri. Sisi ni watu wa Gatundu South.
They give you some mileage.
Hawa watu wa Nyeri wanataka
kuchukua hiki kitu.
You don't fight them.
There you have it from Herman Manyora, nuggets of wisdom going the way of Moses Kuria if you want to better his side of governance and politics large, also to serve him in the near future. Whatever bid he'll be launching in the world of politics, it remains to be seen. Time now for our not fun of the week, this is Siasa Brigade show, but time now to remind you that you need to watch our other shows on the channel, that is Political Conversations with Jadiel Kabiro, Candid Conversations with Evans Okenyi, and new show Opinion Scope with Mundia Gitau. You don't want to miss the sentiments of Kenyans on how this country is faring on. Until next time, God bless.